Get the microphone next to me. Anyway, sorry about that. Hey, welcome to the Psy Tai Podcast. We're gonna start this intro. Welcome. If it's on, yeah, welcome to the Psy Tai Podcast. Number 126 with your host, Psy Tai. Just tainow, you know what it is. Combine your mind with your heart. See what your gut mind is saying. Connect all those three circles and let whatever come out. Just come on out. You know what it is. Bang, bang, bang. Just making sure. Test. All right. Make sure it wasn't none. There we go. Clear as a whistle. Cool. Yeah, thanks for coming on by. Now I know everything's smooth. We can get into the groove. I titled this Monsters in Our Dreams. Monsters in Your Dreams. But first, I want to play this song that y'all gotta check out by Psy Tai, tainow Studios, while I share this page around. Check it out. A lot of windows open. There it goes. All right, share it on the Discord. By heart, goodbye with my mouth. Make sure the level's right. Open up the Discord. There, y'all can always jump into the Discord, tie along, drop the link right now into the chat. Bang, there it is. That's the link. Y'all can even follow that later. Y'all want to get insights on some exclusive news, insights that people in the Just Tainow community shares, and True Life community, and the King Guys community. It's all like really one thing. And it don't branch out like a religion either. But yeah, thank y'all for coming on through. I titled this Monsters in Your Dreams. Do y'all have like what's y'all experience with having monsters, seeing scary things, and what is your experience with like telling it to other people? When did you first started seeing these scary things? Let me know. Let's tie on all of these subjects. Because it's real interesting, the link between dreams, fears, aspirations in life, experiences that we have with unlocking what people will call supernatural abilities or miraculous abilities, or even talented abilities. Like, look at those Olympians. They got some chakras popping, some energy popping off in their feet and in their spinal cord when they doing all that stuff. They mind combined with their heart. They saw what their gut mind was saying, and they flipped it on out. That's what the Olympians been doing. And shout outs to the Olympics too for just for putting skateboarding. Fine, y'all know I'm a skateboarder. 15 years, so it was awesome to see the sport progress into being recognized by the Olympics. Even though the judging and the announcers, they didn't really know what they was talking about most of the time when they was naming the tricks, and America lost. It came in like 7th place. Japan came in first, but they have been stepping their game up. But the scoring was a little rocky. So I love that it's up there, but like everything, once it becomes part of the corporal and the corporations and the way that we build corporations today, You always gotta have a little extra eye out. But kudos to everybody that got to participate in it, and to everybody that skates. There's a lot of women. I was at a skate jam. If y'all check out the video I titled with the art, the short, it was a skate contest, and the vibes was real nice because they had an art contest where people was just spray painting all on the walls, whatever their imagination want to come up with. And it was also a competition, so they was being judged on their line work and everything. And then everybody would just skate, and they had the kids all the way up to like the 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds. I probably was the oldest. No, there was older guys there, probably in their 40s. It's hard to tell the age of some people. Like, y'all probably, but I ain't worried about that. But yeah, howdy do. And just brushing up. No, it's a podcast mode. Y'all can also check this out on Spotify, iTunes Music, iHeart Music, and all the other streaming sites. I'll start putting the links in there. So if y'all missed the video or moving around, y'all can catch the MP3. Well, yeah, let's get into the main groove of this, and then we branch off again in just time. But monsters in the attic, like that's a movie too. Monsters in the attic, monsters in your head, monsters that's like in your brain and stuff. And most people don't go to the attic. Most people don't go to the attic for years. I was just watching a video, and this guy that moved in with his girlfriend finally and removed the paint from the door because the door was paint shut to the attic, and all the years she lived in there, she never even went in there. So, so aliens in the attic, monsters in the attic, it's a lot. That connotation as a metaphor for life is what we're going to break on. And if y'all want to jump in the Discord or in the chat, y'all can give tie bits along to contribute to the story. But as I appear in this world, I was dreaming. I was always dreaming growing up. And like a lot of us are as kids, I was just on True Life channel, and shouts to True Life, and he was talking about how kids dream and how kids, when they look at something, they're imagining it instead of, as I would put, structuring it into how they were programmed to act on that object, because they wasn't really programmed yet. So whatever their imagination, their mind wants to do is what it's going to do. Their mind is not trained to do something. Like, this is all a mind game where we at right now. It's all a mind game. People play mind tricks on each other. That's why you got higher level magicians, low level magicians, because it's all in the mind, and it's all the same mind. It's like got different access to it, and then whatever layer you on, if somebody like doing this, you're gonna be attracted to it in this certain way. But if you already got this little tidbit in you, when it's coming at you, if you was trained a certain way, you'll still be able to see that way and still come up with like a million different ways, a gajillion different ways, a quadrillion different ways to say one feeling, because it's not about the fact, it's about the imagination. And shouts to you, well, for always putting that term out there, the Magi Nation. Like, the imagination land is the Magi Nation, where all the Magi's is running around, where you're running around. But some must be acting so weak and so different, weak and stuff, so that our body's hair is not really living out its full potential. Sorry about that. We had some fires, like, not too far away from where I live at. So the atmosphere has not been friendly to my sinuses at all. Sorry about that. Not been friendly. Please be friendly. Just ask, please be friendly. But yeah, getting into monsters in the head, monsters in the attic. And, oh, sorry about that. Hold on. Was I even? So that our body's hair is not really living out its full potential. Oh, yeah. I had to go back and see what I was saying. But yeah, our body's not really living out its full potential. And I use that term, even if it sounds harsh, because everybody, even while they're here, even if you're feeling satisfied and stuff, you still like feel an itch to build yourself in some shape or form. in some shape or form. And sometimes people come out of the blue, but really, in the bigger call, you sent them out of the blue to rattle you up a bit for that moment. Rattle you up for that experience to notice what's going on with your actual, like, your character. Like, we've got our mind going on and stuff like that and comfortable with the states. Oh, you're sick for 3 days. Dang, true life. From the fires? Yeah, it still got me. My daughter's sneezing too. Thanks for coming through, true life. Yeah. But that's how connecting to the body and us not living up to our full potential all the time. And what was I saying? Well, overall, what I'm getting into is the monsters in our head. And I love dreams, and I've been traveling with mushrooms and DMT. And if you check out the last Just Laugh Now show, it was somebody that did 34 grams of mushrooms and 110 milligrams of DMT. And his words was comparing those experiences to people that live with dementia. Hey, hey, Blue Bottle. Coming out of the blue. Thank you. It worked. Just like I said in that dream when I summoned the spirit. I was like, oh, wow. Even though I didn't know I was going to do it, when it happened, I was like, I'm happy that these people are here around me, even if it looks like this. But we're going to get to that, the monsters and stuff like that. I keep getting so excited that that my brain just keep going off track. Hold on, but if I do this, I could just go back and see what I was actually saying. Well, overall, what I'm getting into is the monsters in our head. And I found, okay. I love dreams. And, oh, I'm so slow. I'm sorry. That's why somebody just dipped out. Yeah, going into dreams and talking about the show Evil and everything. I've been talking about that show Evil for a while. And the guy was doing the mushrooms and the DMT, and he was comparing it, that's what I was saying, comparing it to people that have dementia and Alzheimer's, and they start seeing things that's not there or losing a memory, like you see me losing my memory. Just from like being in so much of a zone or attitude where the things in front of you don't seem like it's the real thing. I mean, the real thing that you're seeing because it is in front of you, but what somebody else is seeing is something so different, or something, just another vibration, just another vibe on that squiggly thing, that squiggly vibrating plane, or however you want to term it. So it was cool, and I remember Alley Cat bringing up dementia, DMT, and the similarities and stuff. I took care of some older ladies that eventually started breaking down from dementia. And I never experienced that until like 2 years ago. So this was after my psychedelic experiences, and the way that her mind would think or grasp onto like probably paranoid thoughts. Or one time she saw something flying around the room, and I had to like be there with her. She's like, you don't see it? She's like, there it go right there. And I was like, oh yeah. I didn't want her to think I didn't see it. So I was like, oh yeah, I see it. Wow. Oh, and then she's like, it's right there. It's crawling. It was a cat. She said it was a cat crawling in her house. It was a cat. And she said, that cat keep coming in. I was like, oh, that cat looks real cool. Like she really seen it. So it's experiences out here, and you hear people say this when they say, oh, you don't need psychedelics to experience everything that you're talking about. But yet it's all dependent on how your neurochemistry is. If you want to take a record of things, if we scan our brains and see what's going on, everybody's different. Even with our hormones, our testosterone, estrogen, our adrenaline, or how our upper thalamus works. Your pineal gland, all of those are things that's working in us, even our liver and everything, and it all attunes to our experience. So connecting that with monsters and dreams and stuff like that, I was reading a book. Oh, what you say, Blue Bottle? I was taking mushrooms night before last, and my cat was freaking out. What was he doing? Or what was the catty doing? Running around or staring at you like, yo, man, you see what I see now? Like, I'm supposed to be the only one chilling in this zone, controlling you. No cats be controlling people. Dogs just be there. Like, I'm just there, whatever you want to do. I'm trying to have some fun too, the dog says. But yeah, with dreams and why I see, because for a while, a lot of people, my house looked like it was made of Legos. Oh man, I've been wanting to go to Legoland. And then right while I was thinking about it, my sister called me all the way in Philly and said her kid's dad was about to take them to Legoland. Legos, man, the building blocks. That's awesome. To see your house. Just build the Legos, man. Like, somebody put this together. Legos are one of the most imaginative tools that's been created on this earth for us to just let loose and see what can be created. I used to love playing with Legos and building things that wasn't on the box. And building things that was on the box, I felt accomplished because I listened to the rules and was able to study and stuff like that. But it's levels, it's real levels to imagination. He said he couldn't be still. He wanted outside. He couldn't stay with me. I don't know why. You got to take another trip and ask him why. Tell him before you take the mushrooms, like, all right, I'm about to go into this space. Now, we good or what? Let me know. Don't freak out on me when things get rough. Leave me hanging. But yeah, Blue Bottle, you're an artist. So in the human experience, artists are the ones that really keep themselves, their imagination open from childhood on to moving into adulthood. Especially if you stay active in it, in that active creative mode where you're creating something that's not readily available in your space. But like you like flinch on A Bug's Life when he was coming up with all those inventions in order to help them eat more and stuff like that. Actually, let me invite y'all into here by doing this. Sorry, this is technical stuff, but I gotta have the chat box pop up. There we go. There we go. But creating inventions in order to help people and building just from the objects that surround you. Because that's what the mushrooms always tell me, that everything I need is always right in front of my face. But a lot of times it's so hard to believe because you're like, oh, I need to wait until I get this, or wait until I build up and do this. And then I'd be walking around like, wait a second, I bought this a long time ago. Case in point, I bought this book, Our Dream in Mind, like 3 years ago. Before I started getting real back into these lucid dreaming experiences, and experiencing everything that he's saying now in this book for myself instead of reading and be like, oh man, I wonder how that would feel. Because the story as human beings, as a kids, we always was, the world was just what it was. It's just what it was. There wasn't no definitions, no terms. So if something wanted to appear a certain way, it was going to appear. And then based off of how we were taught by our parents or people around us is how we respond to our own imagination after a while, after growing up with kids, because of all the other things that we relied on those other people in this life in order to get to the next step. Oh, this person fed me. Oh, this person taught me how to use the bathroom. Oh, this person took me to the park. Oh, this person taught me my ABCs. So when they tell me about what's going on in my mind, it must correlate to being the ultimate truth. And that can a lot of times get real dicey and fishy, because where did those people learn from? I was watching this guy, it's a guy I used to watch all the time on YouTube, and he popped up in my recommendation. A white guy, just bald head, black background. I love his videos because he's so in tune with what he's about to say. Unlike, I'm going through the history, trying to give him a shout out. But my daughter filled this up with Roblox and Minecraft videos. All right, that's neither here or there. It's cool. But he was talking about universities and how people trust universities. And he used to work for Google. So he was the person that worked with the SEOs, which is how websites are indexed so that when people type in things, it would be more likely to pop up. So he worked for companies and he said he made hundreds of thousands of dollars making sure that people companies was able to pop up first on search results on Google compared to other things. So he was saying these university people train other people, like train students to then, and he said most of the back end from Google is from universities. So students that's trying to learn what the people from universities is teaching them it will go to Google, type stuff in, and then learn from what and then confirm their truth that they was given from somebody from that somebody owns it has a part in that company that you're trying to fact check them in. So the loop of society is wild and it's amazing. It's amazing how we get ourselves in this shit. And don't question where our information comes from a lot of times. And with universities, we see this pop up a lot. And then that's why even scientists, when you want to get your PhD and things like that, you have to appear to journals and magazines because you have to be able to get your papers published. So you can't say something too off the bounds if it can't be truly proven, because then your credibility will be demolished. And you can't hold you won't have a tenant position at the university. You won't be able to get grants to do your own research and stuff if it's totally against the grain of the editors of certain magazines. These magazine editors are paid. They're paid to do what they do, or else they would do it for free or be doing their own magazine under their own name if they really was fully forward about the heart. But that's how corporations grow. That's why as we keep growing, we can see pierce into this, and then eventually somebody can build something just as powerful, like not demolish it, not say, oh, we gotta just destroy capitalism, but build something that's just as strong. It take a lot of work, take just as much attention as these people that built these societies around the world did. But it starts somewhere. The fire, every fire start from some kind of little spark. And then we like, yo, man, where does big fire come from? So that's how it is with information and actually working on ideas. It may take a couple lifetimes. It may take a couple lifetimes to get it out, not just one lifetime. Now, some people say, I came to this lifetime with a mission. Like, but no telling what kind of reality was correlated to have them that blurred line, so they actually do know kind of what they doing, even if it seemed like a delusion to everybody else. Like, to them, they came to this life and they got memories. I came to do this. Even if later in life they change up and say, oh, well, yeah, that was only one of my former lives, and now I'm in touch with this other former life that's making me do this. Hey, let people be free. Because that's what it is about the mind, and letting people be free in terms of corporation and religion, which is what this book brought back to memory. Because I talk about it all the time, and it be seeming like I'm coming from my feelings because I got a lot of information like programmed in me. I would read a lot of books, but I stopped reading books for a while because I just wanted to experience and see what my own self is saying. But every time I pick up a book, it go back to what I was trying to really convince myself of. So I really appreciate books and videos for that too. A lot of videos, YouTube videos, true life stories, King guys. But this book was talking about the Dark Ages, Our Dream in Mind, and he had it by Robert L. Van de Castle. And I just like to flip through the pages. I don't really like to always start on the first page. Because who told you got to start on the first page? Even when I used to read the Bible every day, I used to be taught, just open up a random page and just let it speak to you. Because randomness, the chaosness is wild. And before I even go into that, that's the point in the mind that I want to cross. I mean, that I've crossed. And why I speak on these kind of things is that hell state, that even that term was given to me, but that chaos state, that mysterious state that seems like it's full of the most horrors that you could ever think of, even if it's like not having money. I can't even go there. I never think about not having money. This book was pointing out a little history lesson of what happened in the Dark Ages, and how I said I used to dream a lot, and I used to blame the church and the people around me, because they was really in the church, for like killing my imagination. And I was mad, and I went into like metal music and like devil Satan worship and like the whole 9 yards, whatever was the complete opposite, like not even just feeling in the way of thinking. Like, no, I'm not this. The spirit, the Bible denies the flesh. Well, no, I am the flesh. I am the beast. Which I found out was absolutely true as well. And all part of development that most people go through. But cutting myself off from my imagination, I was taught that my imagination was filled with demons, like literally. That's what I was being told. I was having ideas about magic, about just questions, different interpretations of what I was reading. And a lot of those thoughts was literally told, and when I would listen to the sermon, because I was really into the sermon. I even gave a couple sermons as a youngster when I was young. They used to have the youth night or something like that, and I was excited. I had all my notes. So I was always really deep diving into whatever experience my feelings was into. I was always trying to analyze it, reproduce it, how the people around me was doing. So I was when they told me that the thoughts that I was actually enjoying was demons and stuff, it made me at first really depressed, really depressed. I'm like, why are they saying these kind of things? And why are they not really helping me with the issues in my life that I'm really saying I need help with? Just saying, pray on it or and stuff like that. And making me feel good on Wednesday and Sunday, and then just having me just think about these concepts. And that's about it, but not about like, hey man, like what about my art class or whatever feeling I was thinking at the time. Because I grew up in a place that was real, like they was Christians that grew up in the wild. Grew up in the wild. So they changed, they was felt as though they was taking care of their lives in a whole nother way. So they had standards and principles about everything. And even for your mind not to dwell off too far, so that because they've been there before. so then it gets wild, because it's like, who taught these people these things? And they think that who taught our grandparents these things? Who taught our parents these things? That's what this book brings up, especially with Christianity in the Dark Ages, in the 1500s, in the 1600s, and how the Christian fathers and priests would literally tell people that their dreams were demons, and that's how it was taught. Like it says this. Demons and devils became an obsessive concern for Western Christians. The paranoid fear of their constant presence and their potential for evil is vividly portrayed in a statement by Martin Luther. Yea, we are day and night beasts with millions of devils. When we walk aboard, sit at our board, lie on our bed, legions of devils are round about, ready to fling whole hell into our hearts. Gaspar Pritzker, I found out he was a mathematician. He's a famous mathematician back then. Here goes his face. And a physician too. He said, writing on divinations after discussing divine dreams, he considered demons as possible sources of dreams. Pritzker admonished that they could produce deceiving dreams such as those received during incubations at an ancient pagan temple and in visions of Anabaptists. So if you got a vision during a pagan ritual, that was just say, hey, man, that's a demon. He felt that, the pagan rituals, they was taking mushrooms and psychedelics and stuff like that. Like True was bringing out them idols people have at their tables. If you take some psychedelic or really get your mind involved with it, they will talk back to you. You will know what you're doing. Just get into the mood. He felt that the investigations of dreams was dangerous unless the dreamer was a man of God. Dreams from God were not sent to everyone promiscuously, nor to those who strive after and expect revelations of their own opinions. So if you was interpreting your dreams off your own opinions, that was considered demonic. Dreams from God were sent instead to holy patriarchs and prophets to deal with the governance of the church, with empires and their well ordering and other remarkable events. So if it didn't have to deal with changing the society to decide society how they wanted to change it, the kings and the queens, then they wasn't for it. It was just called, hey, you bringing something from the devil. You worshiping the devil and stuff like that. And I did a little digging before the show. I was breaking down to see where that word monster come from, like in English at least. And it was from they would break it down: Latin, Monterey, warn, Latin, monstrum, what is that? Protent or how is going to be monster too? Monsterae. So late Middle English from Old French, monsterae from the Latin, monstrum, protent or monster from Monterey, warn. So then I look at what protent mean. And protent, all right, our pad got disconnected. All right, protent, a sign or warning that something, especially something monumentous or calamitous, is likely to happen. Future significance, an omen of grave portent for the tribe. So that's what that means. It means something when a monster about to pop out, this monster, it's an energy. It's an energy of a warning, something especially calamitous. So, and then, or it can be, look at this, an exceptional or wonderful person or thing. So that's what a monster could also be. And we're going to break down that a lot of us are just taught that, or you could just see for yourself, that a lot of us just taught that this is just what a monster is. Something that, or you put bad in front of there. It's just something that's warning you of some monster, something monumentous is about to happen. And then I was looking up this, where protent come from, and they were saying omen and token. And then I looked up token, and it said dramatic order related to Dutch taken, and German Zinch, also to teach. And this is something that I learned when I started getting into a lot of esoteric books about how they would, even into the Book of Satan and stuff, because that's still related to the Golden Dawn. Eliphas Legge was read a lot of Crowley, so his stuff is related to Hermeticism and stuff. He just went into his own zone in order to really put words out there that's the complete opposite of everything a Christian would think about or say out their mouth. But that's like a lower lesson teaching too, that he put out there to confuse people and also have people that really get into it to rise above that level of just hate. It's a wild game people play out here, but the demons and stuff to teach, and this is what they would flip the script and show you, that all these spirits and things that was demonized in Christianity, they were there to actually teach. To teach you certain things, teach you math, teach you science, teach you about astrology, teach you about atoms and the stars and everything like that, or about the self, different situations that go on. It goes real deep. It goes really, really deep. And it's going to touch a lot of buttons this episode. But it's worth it. It's worth the tie on because it connects so many dots. And if y'all see some more dots, let me know. Like the show Evil I brought up before, it just made me so happy that somebody connected a lot of dots that I was connecting in my mind. So for my ego brain that's running around, it's like, relax, you're not extremely psycho. Like your sense is just not correlating to what you've been taught. And you already know this. You know this. Oh, yeah. That's the word monster. And then when I was seeing Monterey warn, like a warning, like I said, a warning to be cautious. Dramatic ordering basis, be cautious, compare it where. Inform someone in advance of an impeding or possible danger, problem, or unpleasant situation. So what are the monsters there for, really? What are they really? Are they there to actually help you? I would think so. In those situations, I would think that they are there to warn you even about yourself. And to show evil, they show people having lucid sleep paralysis, demon dreams, as they would term it, where they can't move and the thing over top of them. And the only thing I keep saying to the people, girlfriend and her sister, while we watching, is that listen to what he actually saying. He actually is saying thoughts that person was thinking in the previous episode or earlier in the episode, or could have been thinking, but covered it up with another action. So the thing that would come up and sit over top of them and do stuff was repeating the deepest of thoughts to them in a way that they wasn't comfortable with. And I know because I hear that in myself. I face these things literally myself, like not even figuratively, like I wrote a story, and even imagining it is you doing it. So I won't even take credit away from that. But in my dreams and psychedelic experiences, I had to face these things clear as day, put it like that. And it came with all of these different interpretations that I had to just like throw into a big bubble and not just get lost into either and sauce like, oh, that's a demon, oh, I'm scared, or oh, that ain't really nothing, because it is something, and that's what a lot of us ignore, the voices that's actually trying to help us, and then cutting those off and putting authority to something outside of ourselves. Even the Bible said don't make any idols. Yeah, everybody walking around, a lot of people walk around like they the biggest idol or the only idol that you supposed to go after. That's what the priests and stuff been doing for thousands of years. It's right here in this book, Our Dream in Mind. They say only the ones that was God feared was able to have their dreams interpreted it and talked about. It's another thing in here I was listening to where people didn't talk about their dreams because they would be excommunicated, because they would say that their dreams was being given to them by the devil, or they would be excommunicated when they got to leave the town and stuff and live on their own, or they would be hung on the stake and burnt alive in front of everybody so people could know what not to do. Father, wait. What else they got? What else you got? What else you got for me for the? Cause he right here, right now. This Robert telling me what the, like giving me some hints. He joined the podcast, even though this book is alive. What you got for me? What you got? Yeah, it's by the opening section of De Magia, written in 1598 by a Jesuit priest, Benedict Prerius, states that most dreams should be entirely discredited. In another passage, he notes that whenever the scriptures wish to point out something vain, tenuous, elusive, and fallacious, they express it most frequently through comparison and similarity to dreams. And in a section entitled "Is a Christian Permitted to Examine Dreams?", Father Perisius, I'm going to get it right. Father P-E-R-E-R-I-U-S responds, the answer to this essay and immediate, for they are permitted to examine certain dreams but not others. Father indicates that some dreams are given by divine inspiration and others are thrust upon mortals by the cunning and malice of the devil. The Father reminds the reader that the devil is most always implicated in dreams, filling the minds of men with poisonous superstitions and not only useless deluding but perniciously deceiving them. Father gives two main criteria for distinguishing dreams originating from the devil from other dreams. First, if we take place frequently, hold on, I'm high as shit. If dreams take place frequently, which are significant of future events or occult matters, it will be considered and not rashly that the initiator of the dream is the devil. So if you had dreams about you flying in space, I had a dream last week. I wrote on the Discord that I had these crystals. And I figured out how to shape them and stuff so that they vibrated with my body, so I had these extra powers and stuff like that. If I told them that dream, they would say that's nothing but the devil. And then, like, it's wild because with our superheroes, like, how, like, it just leaves way for everybody to just latch on to other things and not really believe in themselves. And then that's when people start believing in themselves. They start thinking they use the terms, oh, I'm Lucifer, oh, I'm the devil. And then got to get through all that anger. Because we are Lucifer. We are the light bringer. We brought the fire. Lucifer is related to Prometheus in the Greek mythology, where he stole the fire, the knowledge of the gods, and brought it down to earth, to the humans. Like, that's what we doing. We're human beings bringing down whatever knowledge that's up there in the God realm of our minds and interpreting it as best as we can. Like, here, this is what I got. That's what we do. Dreams. Yeah, they said right here they talking about how they didn't like erotic dreams and sexual dreams. The appearance of sexual dreams are dreaded because it is certain men's sinful lusts have no allowance from God's law in time of sleep. So you know how they said in the Bible, I remember this growing up, they say don't lust after another person because that's the same thing as actually having sex with them, and then that will be adultery and fornication. So protect your thoughts and don't even like do things in your mind, because God still sees everything and he's always watching you. He's always watching. So here they saying, even if you have a sexual dream, you got to cleanse yourself from that. You must cleanse yourself from these sexual urges. And you see the sexual repression in a lot of people and what that caused, even with their own Jesuit priest touching all the kids all the time. Never stop. Gotta keep talking about it. Still going on. And even on other levels in the hood and even in suburban neighborhoods, perversions of many kinds come out because people not listening to what's going on in their own mind, and then in times blocking it out when these weird situations pop out. They've been programmed and be like, oh yeah, this is what weird people do. Like, I ain't really feeling weird, but you be so trapped up in the hypnosis, just like when you mad, True was saying earlier. When you mad and upset, you just keep being mad and upset, thinking that that's how you always been and always supposed to be. You begin trapped up for real, and all these perversions and everything. From really not having their mind expanded, being trapped and being like a cat in a box, and then saying, here, human, go and do something. And people go out and murder people too because of these reasons, not really listening to all the thoughts that's going on in their mind or having access to these thoughts. Like, a lot of people don't even have access to these thoughts. And that's why it seemed like to some people on certain levels that some people don't have a choice. Like, oh man, them people ain't making choices. But they making choices for whatever they have to work with. Whatever is readily available for the moment. That's what the human spirit does. It's going to work with what it got. Well, that's why a lot of us are given some crappy things to work with, as in closed-minded thinking compared to how big infinite really is. Like, everybody's infinite, even if they don't act like it. I mean, if they act like they not. That's one thing I learned. Everybody's infinite. Yeah. Oh, that is the sin to believe in dreams. And what made the show evil, while I keep on promoting that show too, is because the priest in there, he started taking mushrooms. because he said he want to start getting his visions back, and the old way wasn't working, and he remembered taking mushrooms before. So they really got a lot of modern psychedelic things in there. Oh, here goes some of them saying what I was backing up. Why did demonology come to play such a prominent role in later Western Christian concerns about dreams? Was zealous to be a factor, and an Eastern Orthodox priest may keep his wife if marriage occurs before ordination. Roman Catholic priests take a vow of perpetual chastity. Judging from autobiographical accounts, the Catholic saints were constantly tempted and struggled to remain vigilant against carnal desires. It would not be surprising if celibate priests frequently experienced cinema mission or pollution dreams. Since Aristotle made no provision for unconscious libidinal drives to be expressed in dreams, the source of these foul and polluting dreams had to be attributed to an external source, the devil. As Plato's internal wild beast was denied by Astrolabians, then an external wild beast had to replace it through projection. If Christians could acknowledge the devil within, they had to fight an even more intensive crusade against the devil without. Dreams were not viewed as allies which could help discharge libidinal energy and harmless tension reducing imagery, but as enemies to be avoided or vigorously combated. Dreams, in effect, have been banished, and we see here, as later in the case of Nazi Germany, what happens to a culture when the authorities limit people's autonomy and prevent creativity from frolicking by discouraging them from observing their dreams. Dreams reflect our wholeness, our possession of interrelated somatic, emotional, and spiritual components of existence. Our stature as human beings seems to shrivel whenever dreams are banished, or whenever an effect is made to restrict the range within they operate. We need dreams to enlarge our individual and collective aspirations. This is what the book's saying. This is what Robert's saying. Acceptance of the personal freedom experienced in dreams may stimulate efforts to seek political freedoms in waking life. And George Orwell's 1984 disobedience to Big Brother starts in a dream. Yep. All right, and to bring it, I'm gonna cut off this book right here. But this is the 1960s. I know I said the Dark Ages, but this shit still go on. It says Jesuit priest Father Mesguer in his 1960 book The Secret of Dreams, he said limitations on the part of the nature of dreams. The first and most fundamental limitation is that the normal means of directing human life to its proper ends is the conscious mind, understanding, and will, which occupies the responsible center of our being and makes us persons. The invasion of the conscious by the unconscious even eventually leads to madness through intermediate states which become more morbid with the progressive invasion by the unconscious, from which it follows that dreams, the typical product of this unconscious state, are not the function best qualified to regulate conscious conduct. Many authorities agree that in dealing with children, one should not use dreams. Generally speaking, I think that this should be extended to include young people. The special dangers that this descent to the depths given as it does official recognition to dreams, though controlled by faith and reason, represents for the individual in question should not be forgotten. They are, for example, that attributing too much importance to dreams can produce a tendency to live in a world of fantasy, that violent temptations may be unleashed, or that he may become aware of instincts which, if he lacks the maturity to understand and direct them, were better kept from his knowledge. Now that's what he wrote in The Secret of Dreams. And a lot of the priests and people that's controlling people read that. That if it feels like he ain't gonna be able to, that person can't control the dreams, then don't even talk to them about dreams. Don't even let them go to that whole realm in themselves. You interpret it the best interpretation as you see their ego running around being all scared. Give him a couple teaspoons. Give him a couple teaspoons. He'll be all right. They'll be all right. They'll be all right for a while. Then they'll be back next Sunday. Get a refill. I was looking, y'all know this song by Rihanna. And Eminem, The Monster. I used to love this song growing up. Talking about being friends with the monsters inside of her head. Quit trying to save me, quit holding your breath. And you think I'm crazy and you call me crazy, but that's okay. Call me crazy, but I have this vision. One day I walk amongst you, a regular civilian, but until then, drums. Oh, nah, come on, M. Nah, I'm on, M. I'm friends with the monster. Yeah, I like the hook. I'm trying to see if something I can grab from here. Y'all know the song, though. Go look it up. But it's all in the hook, what I'm saying. And cartoons, modern day cartoons get you comfortable with this. And mushrooms getting comfortable with that rowdiness in your voice. Like, how would that rowdiness when you upset look? Or how do you expect beauty to look? How when I brought up that ugly dog competition, it's ugly dog competitions. Look ugly to you. But that's just because the way we've been taught. And how things be looking in the atmosphere and stuff like that. And I've been traveling with mushrooms. All right, making sure it's still cool. And that's the monsters in your head. That's the monsters in your head. How do they really look? Why was you taught to be scared of them? Why was you taught to be scared of yourself? And the big Thai Illuminati of it is that it's all a training. It's part of. I can't give you the exact answers. I won't give you that, but because I have my answers. But I see it as still a training ground, a proving ground of the human spirit and things like that. But as well, for most people, if you feel like it's a trap because you got other ideas going on, then it is what it is. Or not a trap, but it's something that's not allowing you to live out your full potential because of how you really feel inside as compared to what you're thinking. That's why just ties combining with your gut mind and letting it just come out, letting that fire chakra just explode, just come on out. Now, dreams are really important to me because when I wake up and throughout my day, I have memories where I have to say, oh yeah, that was in the other reality. Because saying, oh yeah, that was in my dream, like that's boring now. Now that I know how dreams is even like a loose term to not even give me the full power of recognizing what's actually happening. What's actually happening. It makes me lose my lucidity in this life. And then losing my lucidity in this life stops my daydreaming. Has me just worried about things that's going on in front of me and working with things that's in front of me in order to solve the things that's in front of me, which makes no sense. Just like I said with the universities a long time ago, using the university's data to confirm what you learned from the university. That's not real learning. That's circular learning. That's getting you caught up in a loop. You know about that. But do you know about this? And even if you don't know about this, is this something that you usually beat up and break down? Because it's like you say, this is not what I'm supposed to be learning about. Who taught you that? Who taught you to have such strong walls and defenses against things, against ideas? It's a wild, amazing story. Wild, amazing story. And I'm going to take a little breather and show off the Just Tainow website. Check this out. Got the Psy Tai Podcast at the top. The Just Tainow store. Come and explore. Take a bite out of life. Got the hoodie on right here. It's only 4 of these available right now in the style and fashion that you see right here. High Ventures of Tussle Tula Bay, and everything is worked out so it can work with Cash App, credit, debit card, all that. Just like every other website. So I don't even got to really explain it. Just if you was there before, you know how it looked before. So thank y'all for always like tagging alongside. and got the art section. I just uploaded this one yesterday, Mad Triangle. I sketched this on Easter about 3 years ago when I took some mushrooms and I went hiking. And I just was drawing, sketching it on out, painting it on out, print stickers available. And I check out the Instagram where I broke down the true life and why I actually created this GIF of a true life. It was also in the Just Laugh Now show, the previous one. So, yep, that's that right there. Thank y'all for supporting and keeping the channel alive. Keeping the channel alive, because times is changing and more having to rely on this. Rely on the Psy Tai Podcast, us as a family, to continue to the next moment. Generate the energy. Let's keep the energy up. That's all that's going to generate everything else. Let's keep the energy alive. Or like putting up the Psy Tai Podcast, not the Just Laugh Now show, but the Psy... Nope. Nope. My bad. I just want to have this up there. Wow, or not. It's alright. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? You say, who popped in? Constructor 484, you say I had dreams that played out in real world week or months later. That's the way it is. Our way our dreams are, that's what's so cool to pay attention to them. Because you have insights. Insights of what's into time. Because time is neither the past, the future, or the present. It's just happening. It's happening. And our awareness is creating it. Whatever you're aware of is what's there. So if you was aware of something, at one point, the sync is real. The sync is real and it's going to line up with something in his life. It's the same generator. The same generator. And like you said, construction start leaking into daydreams. Like my daydreams have foresight of what's about to pop off. And it's on a whole, and I love it. I love it. I used to question myself a lot on it, just like the classic comic books and stuff. Oh, is this real? Am I creating it or this or that? But the sync is, as Carl Jung will point out, and which is where this word even comes from, the sync. That's why I call it a tautonicity. A tautonicity, like a thought line up with what somebody's saying, can be singing a song, and then somebody walk up singing a song, or the thought that imagine a world that I was in would play out on a TV program to confirm something that I was trying to figure out in that world. And like you said, with dreams, I'm seeing more people on TikTok say exactly what you say as well, about coming out into the forefront saying I was in a dream and then later I was in there. And that's how psychedelic experiences go. It's some people that's having some massive psychedelic experience that's having things about coming on in the future. And even if it don't happen in the way that they completely thought, it's like they walk into that same reality. I was in a reality where I was doing the VR. I was doing without even VR, painting and everything. Reality was my perspective. Everything was topsy surreally, really. And then I came back here and they created the game called Dreams that was for PS VR. And I was able to do exactly what I was doing there. And there's no other the real explanation to me is that I was there and then it was here. That's all I need that's all the sense I have. All the sense I need to carry me on to the next moment. Because then the thoughts and religion and have you all trying to break it apart into all of this stuff. And then you wind up cutting yourself off. Again. Just for some crazy experience you wanted to do. But I ain't tripping on that level no more. I want to trip out on these tight times. Leave that for other versions of myself. If I want to experience that, I hopefully another version of myself is created so I can go through what it is. Oh, what if I just got into full-blown organized religion again, or full-blown organized this and that? Right now, I'm just as free as a bee. I don't go out like that. No. But that's what we learned. That's what I learned first recording dreams. Like, record your dreams. Record your dreams. It helps build up that muscle. That muscle. Anyway, even if you go on and just record a voice memo. Like, hey Siri, record this. Record this. Take a memo of this. Because you building up yourself to say, hey, this is something that I want to keep going. This is a habit that I want to, like, building up a muscle memory. even if it's like your esoteric brain, like you building up that muscle memory, say, this is something that we do. Like I skateboard and I'm getting really good at skateboarding. Like I've been skating for a long time since I was 15. But now I'm like getting into how I felt when I was younger and more technical about it because I'm able to dream about what I'm doing. I'm able to visualize what I'm doing a lot more. I'm able to visualize it a lot more and doing it more frequently, going out there and then taking notes like, oh yeah, I move my body like that. And then sometimes it pop up, then eventually becomes a muscle memory where then I can build up on that muscle memory and turn that into a whole, like I'm doing, go up on a half pipe, turn around, do a tail stall. Now I can kick flip out of that instead of saying, oh, at least I made it up there. Now I just got to pop down. Whoo! Now I'm like, all right, now I'm up here. Now what else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do with this dream? Are you the person walking around confused? Are you the narrator? Can you get outside your body? Can you see a situation going on and then say, wait, I know how this feels. It don't actually have to be like this. And then not do the action that will make it go, but actually change it around by doing the action and then get into the zone where you say, wait, why am I even doing that action? This is I can just think and then boom, reality just shift. And now you're doing something else without even having to have that experience. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. The dream world, even be able to visit other people's dreams, remote viewing. All of this take place in the astral world as we grew up learning about these terms. Yeah, you visit the astral plane. Man, careful going. You hear people even still saying, spiritual people saying, be careful going to the astral plane. You can visit demons and spirits up there going to try to get you and trap or don't. If you see this, like it's a warning, people be trying to scare people and stuff. I be like, what? You there to be anything you want. Like that's how you envision yourself, but that's a good lesson because that is how you vision yourself and you got to see it for yourself because only you can see that. You can interpret it through an art form and Photoshop it. Life is Photoshop. Everything Photoshop. Everything. I think I came up with Photoshop in the first place. They all Photoshop. So yeah, get into the dreams. You see another aspect of yourself. And then like Alex, I'm gonna leave off on this because I gotta pick up my daughter from camp. Let me text to see if it's 1:15 or 1 o'clock. Text Mina, do I have to pick up Isla 1:15 or 1 o'clock?
Your message to Mina says, do I have to pick up at...
Yeah.
Okay, it's sent.
Thanks, Terry. But yeah, dreams. Hold on, dang it. Hold on here, I got y'all. I learned the power of rewind. Is it demons and leave off on this because I got to pick up my daughter. Photoshop it. Life is photo. See if it's 1:15 or 1. Dang, somebody remind me what I was saying. So yeah, get into the dreams. You see another aspect of yourself. And then like Alex, I'm gonna leave off on this. Oh yeah, Alex Through the Looking Glass. Alex and Through the Looking Glass was a good book because it was a part in there where everything that was happening in that world she was in was because of the sleeping king. Because of the sleeping king. Yeah, you said, yeah, Constructor 484. Yeah, I think this dream was shown to me to get me start believing. It was like 100% proof. Yeah, get us kickstarting. Dreams. You see it in every movie. That's us. That's us dreaming. Whoever, if you on this channel right now, you had that spark. That's why I'm reminding you right now. That's why I feel this energy right now, because you felt it already. You felt it before. It ain't nothing new. It's just if you're going to kick into gear or not this time around. Like kick into another gear, or you're going to stay in first gear. I'm comfortable in first gear. Ever stay in first gear and try to go faster, you're going to blow your engine. And that's when you get worn out and stuff like that. Like, oh, I can't take it. Oh, my mind is racing, but my body is just broken. But in A Looking Glass, which was Alice in Wonderland 2, she was in the land of the sleeping king. And one of the creatures was trying to tell her, because she was saying, "Oh, I don't want to do nothing to wake up the king." And he was saying, "There's nothing you can do to wake up the king because you're a figment of the king's imagination." And she was all upset, saying, "I am real. What are you talking about?" Because she didn't fully understand. She was trapped in the sauce. Oh, it's wild. It's wild. Through the Looking Glass, I seen that in the movie theaters by myself. Hold on, it was something I wanted to jump into this. Oh, it was something, and even us lucid dreaming now say Socrates put forth this question. And I put forth this question a bunch of times. I put forth this question. Could you give if anyone should ask us now at the present moment whether we are asleep and our thoughts are a dream or whether we are awake and talking to each other in a waking condition? Hold on, I'm trying to find where they was bringing up. Yeah, there's somebody saying, in my childhood, I conceived the notion that we live, each one us, a double life, sleeping and waking. I supposed to be not two processes, but two aspects of the same process. To fall asleep here is to wake up there. My head sinks gratefully into my pillow, and the world dissolves, and at that very moment on another plane or planet, I rub my waking eyes and begin a new day, resuming without thought or sense of strangeness the life in which my waking life here has been a quiescent interval, like just really small. And who's this guy? Who's an English novelist? And oh man, I wanted to get into Helen Keller too. Person that was blind, deaf, and I think mute. And no, I didn't know she wrote a book about the things that she used to see. She said lights used to visit her in her room and stuff like that. And she used to be real big about sleep and dreams. When it says, let me read it real quick. And then I gotta go because I didn't get a text back. It says Helen Keller had a childhood illness at 19 months that left her deaf and blind. She reported that before she was taught by her remarkable teacher Anne Sullivan to read, write, and talk, she lived in a sort of perpetual dream. When she was able to make a distinction between her waking and dreaming conditions, she acknowledged that some similarities existed between them, but she seemed to relish what took place after passing through the portals of sleep. She explained, once across the border, we feel at home, as if we had always lived there and had never made any excursions into this rational daylight world, this Lucifer world. That's what Lucifer mean, the light bringer. Like decision, separation, this is that. Yeah, she published a fascinating account of her dream life in her book, The World I Live In. She described visiting foreign lands in her dreams where she had never been in reality and conversing with peoples whose languages she had never heard. I do not remember ever to have met these persons with whom I could not at once communicate. She very rarely used her fingers to spell in her dreams. She was self-sufficient and enjoyed an independence quite foreign to my physical life, she says, with no one guiding her. Wherever I turn my steps, my mind is my faithful guide and interpreter. Yeah. And I'm gonna leave off right there. Cause I'm gonna keep going. I just synchronicity moved up to the page I left off before about Carl Jung talking about synchronicities. And I call it a tossenicity though. But yeah. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back, tie on our dreaming mind. If you have everything, tie on, jump to Discord, comment below. Really appreciate. Thank you, True Life Stories, for sharing the video. Shouts to Blue Life Buddy Farm for coming on through. It's been a while. I love seeing your profile picture. Just gives me the vibes. A Constructor 484, first time through. Don't let it be the last. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your dreams. And if you have any other dreams, like let us know. Let us know. I'm excited to hear about it. It's like hearing somebody written your whole book. that nobody ever heard before. Like we just came up with that. It's amazing. Yeah, thank you everybody, and check out the Just Laugh Now show. JustTiedNow.com, TikTok. I'm trying to keep it funny, keep things light, and everything like that.